And let's realize something. Let's get all the way down to this. Who is funding these people? And you start with AIPAC, the American Israeli Public Action Committee. Okay, what do? They brag about the fact that they are the #1 donor to a large number of Democratic candidates in the United States. They brag about this. Why do they brag about this? Because they are a foreign entity who funds domestic politicians, people from outside of this country, funding politicians in this country to do things that benefit them in their country. They have not registered as a foreign agent. You have influence. How they say, well, Russia has influenced the election. No, Israel is. AIPAC. That's no secret. Kamala is not funded by interest groups that have the interests of the people here as much as other groups fund her. So the big checks are coming from somebody outside of the U.S. who do not have an interest in the U.S. They have an interest in the U.S. bowing down to them. So I want to make that very clear for y'all thinking, it just came from a Zoom call. Did you see the account? Did you see where the money really came from?
Facts.
Now let's make this clear again. In research, until you get the actual facts, you shouldn't really speak. Because they say, oh man, she raised $100 million. No. She was invested in with $100 million. Switch the word. This ain't some damn, let's give her the money and we hope for the best. We believe in ourselves. No, you got some people who did do that. Sure, I'm sure the sororities, I'm sure some fraternities, I'm sure just random people donating had good intentions. I have no doubt about that whatsoever. But you have vested interest groups, banking organizations, pharmaceutical companies, oil and gas, AIPAC, the biggest one, who comes together and they say, we have an agenda. These are the things we want her to do. So we're going to pay for her to do it. That's why she spoke at AIPAC years ago, and she spoke again recently. Why? Because that's who paid my checks. Let me go get looking nice and go speak in front of them. She never does that for black organizations. So again, look at who funds the person. That's who who they bow down to and who they will keep as a priority. It's not our people.
Something that you spoke on recently, and I was like, that's an excellent point. The Great Compromise of 1877.
Oh yes.
And that shows that there is no difference between Democrat or Republican. If you can break that down for us, what exactly happened during that compromise of 1877?
Wormley Hotel, February 26, 1877. You had the Republicans, Democrats, they came together because they wanted to put black people back on the plantation.
Right.
Okay, so you had the Reconstruction age, 1865 to 1877. Emancipation Proclamation, oh yes, Negroes are free. Not necessarily. Emancipation, as we were taught by Minister Farrakhan, it means I free you from my hand, but not from my control. So you let all of these black folks go free to go out, no food, no clothing, no shelter, no nothing, just, hey, get up out of here. Okay, so that's why some of them went back to the shackles willingly, and some of them had to go into the sharecropping stuff, or some of them had to find ways to get work here and there. But this government said, well, we got a lot of land and a lot of businesses and a lot of companies that need these hands to keep working, so let's find a way to put them back on the plantation. Well, Democrats and Republicans agreed at that time, like unanimously. Let's put them back on the plantation. It was called the Great Compromise, or also known as the Great Betrayal of 1877. And so they found a way to put us back on the plantation so that we can continue to work. Same way in a enslaved type of circumstance where we're not making anywhere near as much money as we should. We had all the skills, the tools, etc. And even at that time, for a white man to be seen with a hammer or types of major equipment, it looked a little weird because we were the main ones doing that.
Right.
The brick masonry, the electrical work, any type of physical labor that was normal for us. Matter of fact, they looked down on any of their white brethren who was, no, that's for the Negroes. Let them do that, right? So at that time, if they could compromise and come to an agreement, and by the way, it was introduced, the idea, by a Jewish man by the name of William Levy. And that man is who really pushed the idea, kind of introduced it, and they said, that's a pretty good idea that we should do that because, well, hell, we'll make more money, we'll work less, and we know they will agree to do that. So let's go ahead and make that happen. So at that time, if they can agree in the 1800s, Democrats and Republicans, to put black people back on the plantation, I believe they will agree to do the same thing in present time. I don't see this Democrat, Republican, red, blue. Okay, if we in the hood and we know Bloods and Crips and y'all doing the same things in politics, we can't trust you. It's an immature, perpetual circumstance. So I went from the hood and put on a suit and we doing the same thing up here.
Wow.
It makes no damn sense to me. I don't understand this. How is it that I can pay you and you say, well, Republicans are bad, I don't like them, oh my God, bad, bad, or Democrats, they just stupid, bad, bad, bad. Okay, both of you look stupid to this very day. All you're doing is arguing. The same situation is in our communities right now that has continued to be in the same situation for hundreds of years.
That's right.
Because y'all keep saying it's these people and they keep saying it's those people. It's both of y'all. And then right underneath these 535 members of Congress, Democrats, Republicans, Senate and House majority or House representatives, etc. Above that, that's where you have the real power. The bankers, pharmaceuticals, etc. Congress doesn't run much. They're supposed to be able to pass laws, etc., veto the president's decisions, etc., but they don't even have the control. The president doesn't even have the control. So the president now is the figurehead. He looks a certain way, makes you believe in the nation that we call the United States of America. But who's behind him and or her?
That's right.
Those are the people with the real power.
Yes.
So again, at this point, if you came to an agreement back then, Democrats and Republicans, like Brother Kendrick Lamar said, if that's what you came to an agreement on to put our people back on the plantation, then I understand that there is a situation of power above everything else.
For sure.
And if it benefits all of you to do something that destroys an entire group of people, I believe they'll do it.
Yes.
I believe there are Democrats and Republicans working behind the scenes together to keep our people down as long as it is mutually beneficial.
Yes.
I believe that there are Democrats and Republicans coming together right now to keep us in a perpetual type of enslavement, whether it's economic, educational, familial, etc. I believe that there are people working together. I know that there are. Just like there are white and black people at the top working together to keep us in the enslaved position that we're in. Very few of them at the top. It's not just white folks at the top doing this. It's not just Arabs. It's not just a few Chinese. It ain't just. It is a conglomerate of very evil, wicked individuals who say that these people are the useless eaters that we have to control. And we have to depopulate billions of them so that we can maintain our control and dominance.
Right.
I believe it is a mix of them now. So again, I don't get involved in that. They came together back then. I'm sure they're coming together now quietly and making everyone believe that, hey, Democrats are the right one, or hey, Republicans are the right one. Anytime there's a conflict between two or more parties, you always look for the hidden third party behind that is keeping the fighting going. It's that person whispering in your ear, Caleb, I saw that nigga, what they're doing. Some craziness, right? Then they go and whisper, hey, I heard this about Caleb. I saw this sister over here talking about you. Y'all start arguing, and you don't know that it's a hidden third person
making all this go.
Making you go back and forth. It's a basic in a war, and I think they're still doing it.
I'm loving this. Project 2025, which I feel like exemplifies that, because I don't even think that it came from the right. Of course, people say that it came from them and they talk about the person who proposed it. However, I'm like, it works for both parties. On the right wing, it's like, hey, I want this, I want to push this. On the left wing, it's fear tactics of, if you don't vote, this will happen. I'm at a state right now, Rizza, to where when I read everything on Project 2025, I'm like, what are we so afraid of? Because this is what they already have done or what they're currently doing. And if it's not happening right now, it's going to happen eventually. So we have to start protecting ourselves. We have to start building our own infrastructures, own systems. How do you feel about Project 2025 when you see Taraji P. Henson talking about this multiple times at the BET Awards and saying we should go vote because if we don't, this is going to happen? And I'm like, okay, even if we vote, and let's say that Trump, he wins, even if every black person in America voted and Trump wins, are we just going to cry and be afraid, oh, Project 2025, oh, it's over for us? But how do you feel about Project 2025 when you first heard about it?
I haven't read all the pages as of yet.
Right.
So I'm not going to pretend as
it's 900 pages plus.
Right, exactly, right. And I have read that many pages in policy before. I haven't read all of it yet. However, as you said, as you pointed out, much of what people are saying is in it has already happened before.
Right.
Okay, the problem is now you don't want the Band-Aid to get ripped off.
That's right.
They were talking about removing welfare. They were talking about removing, I believe, overtime. They were talking about removing people who go into retirement, removing that type of, they've been trying to come after retirement. Social Security. They've been trying. So everything that is a handicap circumstance for some and a help aid for others who do need it, they're talking about removing it. Why? Your government is broke. Let's make this clear. They don't have no damn money.
Wow. Or
so they make you believe. They send the money to the Ukraine.
Facts. Billions.
They send the money to Israel.
Billions.
Off the top.
Yeah.
You talking about I'm not talking about from the net. I'm talking about the gross. They take the money from the top of Israel and they send it over there.
Here's your cut.
Right before they start paying bills and everything in the U.S.
Facts.
They make that a priority, but when it comes to their own citizens, we ain't got it. That's what they're trying to tell you. Okay, so what did the most honorable Elijah Muhammad say in his book, The Fall of America, the black and red book with fire on it? He said separation is our greatest and only, or best and only solution, if we but knew. Why did he say that? He said once the dollar goes down, the government is going to go down behind the dollar. He wrote this in a book over 50 years ago.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out, why don't you think it's real? See, it's not real until it hits you on your front door. It's not real until it hits your family. It's not real until it hits you in your pocket. You like, damn, I can't believe, man, get Trump in there so he could, oh, you think Trump is not the reason why America's in debt? Biden's not even the reason. They're not. This happened way back in the early 1900s with the Federal Reserve Act. Way back then. You think they're going to change it. They can't. There's nothing that Trump can do to change the overall economic circumstance. He can do it for a moment. But at this point where things are, no one can change where this is going, the trajectory. It's far too deep. Bro, listen, I'm telling you again, no reason. See, you don't want to hear it.
Because it makes you uncomfortable.
It makes you uncomfortable because that means, damn, I got to get up and do something.
Mommy and daddy can't take care of you.
At all. Yes, you got to get up. We all got to get up and do something. You might want to pay attention and realize gold is a reality.
It is.
If you want to use Bitcoin, it's up to you. Buying up land is something that all of the intelligent real estate developers, owners, bankers, and companies and corporations are doing. They know exactly where this is going. Because if you have land, you have everything.
That's right.
They are looking at the fact that this thing is going down. They're buying land abroad. They're trying to figure out ways to survive because they know this bubble is about to burst. The dollar is going to crash. And you think the Great Recession back in the early to mid 1900s, you think that was something. Imagine what's about to happen. Look, again, people don't want to hear this, bro. They don't want to hear it this way. Project 2025 is only going to bring back certain things that were already in place before that actually benefited them because it was less money going to the people, more to the corporations, more to the government, more to where they wanted to go, and less to, okay, helping these people, veterans, people who are handicapped, okay, black folks, oh my God. They didn't like, look, they never wanted it in the first place. That's my point. They never wanted this in the first place. They're tired of it. People say racism doesn't exist, you are a goddamn fool. People who say fascism doesn't exist, you are a damn fool. People who are thinking that economic racism, economic control, manipulation doesn't exist, you are a fool. They do not care about the average citizen in America, black, white, or all in between. They don't give a damn. That's why white folks is so pissed off now because they experimented on all of you along with us over the last 4.5 years. And you never thought it would happen. Like, well, hold on now, that's for the niggers, but hey, now, hey, Johnny, this is it's me, baby. No. It's real. So people are talking about Project 2025 as a way to scare people. And again, shout out to Taraji P. Henson, love our sister, sincerely, and all of those who are talking about this because at least their intention is good to mobilize the people, to get the people aware, etc. However, mobilize us enough to do something for ourselves.
That's right.
Stop mobilizing us to vote for another person who we think is going to save us from Satan's agenda and strategy. The U.S. government is not interested in the safety nor the survival of its own citizens. They are not interested. They do not believe that they are. Why do you believe that this government is going to give power to over 330 million people?
Doesn't make sense.
To vote in a person who is going to control policies that affect them and you when they don't even believe you are intelligent enough to operate in everyday life?
That's right.
Why would this government say we're going to give you the power to vote in the person who's going to control our life? You must be a damn fool. Seriously, they do not think that we are that intelligent. That's why they want to depopulate. That is government policy. It's in the food, the air, it is in the educational system, it is in the reproductive field. They encourage women to get rid of children, not to institute or activate the over 10 different ways of protecting yourself by, contraceptive, got condoms, you got all this. Well, I don't feel like doing all that. Oh, word.
Got something even
really?
better.
Same thing with men. We got different ways of, okay, well, no, let's just do everything, be responsible, get to the very end where life starts to come into the picture, and then just go ahead and kill the baby. See, again, I know I jumped to a subject there, but that relates to this.
You did jump. Hey, that's where we about to go to next.
I'm just saying that we have to get this through our heads. Stop relying on this damn system. Some of y'all done already cut off the interview by now. I want you to understand this, bro.
Yeah, because it makes you uncomfortable.
I promise you. I have been to the White House. I have been to the steps of I presented where Dr. Martin Luther King presented from, on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial in front of over 30,000 people live and in person. I have been to these places. I have talked to a lot of these individuals. They do not care. They don't. And the sooner you get that, the sooner you'll realize, okay, we have to do something for ourselves. That damn food stamps is going to get cut off. Our genetics is of the original line to where it has pretty much all the markers to determine virtually anything. So when you put a experimental anything into, you could say, this bowl of ingredients that makes up a black melanated person, you have the full understanding of this thing. Now, if you put it in, let's say, a Caucasian, right, less melanated or almost non-melanated, they're missing certain things. So they use black people. For example, you brought up Henrietta Lacks.
HeLa cells.
Her HeLa cells, which continue to replicate. And these scientists have made billions of dollars.
Yes, they have.
Henrietta Lacks cells were used to create the COVID vaccine.
I didn't know that.
Absolutely.
Wow.
The family won a settlement a couple of years ago. But even in the COVID shot, they used Henrietta Lacks cells, a black woman's cells.
Immortal cells at that.
Immortal cells. But damn. Like,
I'm gonna use it to kill you.
Bro, I'm saying, right. So because again, you need certain cells in order to attack a thing. You need the DNA from that thing.
That's right.
You have to be able to kind of open it up, take it out, read to see what it is, how it functions, how it reacts and responds. The deoxyribonucleic acid, DNA. So you have to look at what makes up this thing. So you need some of that. That's why they try to get a piece of your hair, draw your blood, your urine, your tissue. Why? Because they have to go in, open it up, study it. Then inject certain things in there to see how it reacts, responds. Okay, so we have to inject it this way. Or this many milligrams. Or this there it is. That's what we're looking for. So then they get that perfected and then inject it into the public population, whether it's through the air, the water, food, etc., pills, you name it. It's all done through experimentation, right? So when I look at this situation now, I'm thinking, damn, how is it that we line up after knowing all the history now, even just a little bit? How do we line up if this government said, here, take this? No, hell no. You should run fast away from them if they say, here, take this. Drink this.
I got some weed for you.
I got some weed for you too. What did they do during COVID, bro? Let's be clear. Some of y'all are getting tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of talking about it. But guess what? You still falling for it. So let me say this to you, number one. If the government offers you weed, if they offer you weed, the government offers you, the same government who locked up our uncles,
for selling
our fathers, our mamas for selling it,
it's giving it to you.
Now they're offering it to you. Okay, your first thing, you should be like, hold up, let me back up real quick. Let me, all right, matter of fact, put this one down. Hold up. You need to start paying attention or admit you're an addict. Oh, but you can't be addicted to weed. Now, can you? All right, let me just pause that because y'all going to cut it off right there. All right. If they offered you weed, big red flag. They offer you lobster dinners like they did in New Orleans. Big red flag. Mind you, they offered all of
it. It doesn't even
us.
sound real, Rizza, when you really...
Bro.
Yeah, when you start saying this out loud, it's crazy, man.
They started sending people to scout out what we like the most in different cities.
Wow.
And they say, offer them this.
These niggas gonna take it.
These niggas gonna take it. They offered weed in Washington.
Yep.
They called it joints for jabs. Come on, bro. Hey, some of y'all hurt. Y'all like, damn.
Hey, that's what they think about it.
No, for real. They offered you lobster dinners over in New Orleans. They offered free Krispy Kreme donuts. That got a lot of y'all right there. One free donut every day for 6 months. If you agree to get a COVID shot. For those who are locked up, they didn't even waste time. They went to the people in jail, offered you a conjugal visit. To have sex with a person, the woman who you want to call, or if it is a woman nowadays, whoever you want to call, to come and do the do with, they offered you that for free one time. Wow. If you agree to get the shot, because they experiment on brothers and sisters in the prisons right now with damn near everything.
They do.
So don't forget about those locked up, because that's also a major demographic of experimental hosts. I have to mention that too.
Excellent point.
Seriously. They offered you free 30 minutes with a prostitute in certain areas in Europe.
Like Amsterdam, probably, where it's legal. Yeah.
For free.
Yeah.
30 minutes. You sign,
wow.
Get your COVID shot, go right in there, door number 5.
You get an STD when you
you're gonna get something else too. You ain't just getting a COVID shot. You'll get a COVID shot with a side order or something. They offered free bikes. They offered you burgers and fries. They offered
in New
you
York.
a ability to enter into a raffle to win $5 million. They offered everything, bro. Bribing the hell out of people. Since when do they bribe you to help you?
Right.
And bribe you to help with your health?
Right.
A government that allows cancerous foods, a government that allows these chemicals in our water, chemicals in the air, a government that allows you to kill yourself, your own people, a government that literally is allowing things that they know damage your body every single day. GMOs, they do all this, but now they care about your health. I'm trying to figure this out. So at a certain point, we have to take responsibility. That's all. You got to stop blaming the system. You know damn well you shouldn't have been around them taking that crap. Some of you felt like you were oppressed. I get that. Some of you felt like you had no choice. You had a job. I get it. I get that. Man, my child got to go to school. I'm not going to be able to travel, bro. So a lot of people were stuck between a rock and a hard place. So I'm not coming down on y'all. We're just making it very clear that you better never, ever in your damn life, no matter what they offer you, no matter what condition or situation you are in, go against what you know to be true. Because so many, you don't even know what the hell it's doing to your body right now. And I'm not going to go into it too heavy, but you will be shocked to know of exactly what it's doing. And because, I feel good right now, you don't know what science does, and you don't know how science works.
I trust the science, though, Rizza.